Good day and welcome to Learning Unit 7. Before we start this learning unit, let us recap. In the previous learning unit, we explored materials requirements planning, inputs and outputs of the system, as well as discussed electronic resource planning. Now we're going to look at how organizations should go about planning capacity. As we discussed previously, one of the organization's main objectives is to ensure ultimate customer satisfaction. Therefore, the organization should thrive to always meet the demand. Capacity planning is one of the ways in which this can be achieved. Let us first start with defining capacity planning. What is it? It can be defined as the process of determining the production capacity needed by an organization to meet changing demands for its products. For example, a bakery needs to know how many ovens they need to meet demand for a given period to avoid delays. Now, there are a couple of questions operations managers can ask to facilitate capacity planning. Questions such as, what is the amount of capacity required? What facilities, equipment, machines and labor will be part of the planned capacity? Are the existing facilities adequate to satisfy existing and impeding capacity requirements? Does the organization predict any changes in existing and impeding demand patterns? Of course, these questions are not limited to just these four, depending on the type of products that are being produced. When planning for capacity, the organization should take into consideration the period it is planning for. Therefore, strategic planning should take place. Strategic planning is split into 3 periods: long, medium, and short term. Long term. This horizon is longer than 1 year. The long-term horizon is the result of the procurement of the assets requirement, which is such that it cannot be done over a shorter period. Medium term. Planning can be undertaken on a quarterly or monthly basis. The time horizon of this planning can be between 6 and 18 months. Short term. Here the length varies from 1 day to 30 days into the future. Now let us look at the various ways in which an organization can measure capacity. First, we have design capacity. This is a hypothetical measure of capacity. It is assumed that if an organization is designed well, there will be a predetermined measure of capacity available for an organization to meet its goals, which in this case is meeting its demand. Therefore, this capacity is set to withstand any possible deterrence. Next is the effective capacity. This capacity is always less than design capacity. In simple terms, this capacity covers how productive an organization is if all existing constraints such as employee absenteeism is considered. Next, we have actual capacity. This is the actual capacity produced over a specific time horizon. For example, how many loaves of bread are produced in a week? Output capacity follows. Here we're looking at the number of items produced per shift. Last but certainly not least, we have input capacity, which is the number of material or people required to complete the job. As we have looked at the types of capacity an organization can have, let's look at the factors that influence effective capacity. Facility issues is the first factor. How a facility is designed or located has a huge impact on how productive or effective capacity is. If, for instance, the facility has issues such as heating, lighting, and ventilation, this can influence employees' rate of production and therefore the effective capacity. Secondly, how a product is designed affects effective capacity. The more complicated the design of the operation, process, or system, the more effective capacity it will consume. Process issues is another factor. The capabilities of the process to deal with the manufacturing quantities determine effective capacity. The next factor is employees' issues. The design of the job contributes towards the establishment of effective capacity, as does the amount of training and experience of employees. The more experience an employee gains in the job carried out by him or her, the less effective capacity is consumed. Lastly, operational issues influence effective capacity. Scheduling of work effectively reduces the consumption of effective capacity. Inventory management has an impact. Readily available inventory consumes less than inventory that is constantly mislaid. Here's an activity that has been posted for you to answer. Kindly answer this question and apply your answer to an organization of your choice. As they always say, all good things must come to an end. We have come to the end of this learning unit. I trust you have learned a thing or two, and I hope to see you in the next session. Have a lovely day.